I thought very strongly about not doing this video. But then the last question that you asked after this one is what endeared me to do it. So what is the question? A man says here, after I stab myself in my glasses, Cam 12, why is it that I hear Hebrew Israelites say that King James was a black man? I've never heard that claim before. I've always heard that he was a white man. And then your second statement was, does it matter? And that's what intrigued me. Because in one sense it matters, and in another sense it does not matter. You see, it should not matter because we should not need to uplift ourselves by trying to black paint people in history who are well known, who accomplished something that has changed the world or did something to the world. In the same way that white people whitewash history, we do not need to black paint history. Now, who was King James? King James was a Scot. He was white. If there was some black in him, it was very, very little. But I want you to think about something. They hold on to this King James version of the Bible, which was poorly translated by Englishmen who did not understand ancient Hebrew that well. And so it's one of the poor translated Bibles. Now later on, the Catholic Church through the Jesuits published the King James Version, which most of your Bibles are translated from. Because the authorized King James Version also included the books of the Apocrypha. It's very rare you can find one nowadays, but those books are not in there. Otherwise, if you was going with the authorized King James Version, the one that he actually commissioned in 1604, it would have an Apocrypha with it. But here's the bigger problem. Well, the second biggest problem. The second biggest problem is the fact that the Hebrew Israelites hold on tightly to Deuteronomy 28, where it talks about if through the disobedience you will be sailed away on slave ships for 400 years to Egypt. Yet, when we look at the ancient messianic writings, when we look at the Vulgate, when we look at the Septuagint, Deuteronomy 28 merely just says your children will be disobedient. It says nothing about slave ships. So here's the biggest problem. Why does it say that? Because during that time frame, the transatlantic slave trade was in full swing. And the Europeans needed a rationale through God to justify it. Now, why would you want to uphold somebody in your lineage who, if he was black, he was a Sambo, in that he wanted to still subjugate black people in Africa and in the Americas? That makes absolutely no sense. And that is the biggest fault. Your upliftment should not be based on people of past history, but based on the fact that you are a spiritually divine creature in the all yourself.